really learnt on playing the Angel, and he's definitely brought to this record, is that he knows what he can get out of us. He knows the best way to get that out of us, and to keep us working, to keep the energy going in the studio. And he's very musical, and so is Luke and Ferg. You know, so they really brought a lot of that sensibility to what we're doing, and they're also very, um, all the technology that's available, and we actually used a lot on this record. We Martin's got this new fetish with buying things on eBay, mostly, actually, I think pretty much all like instruments, and we have all these. Oh, excuse me. We have all these analog synthesizers and drum machines and stuff that we used way back in the 80s, kind of thing. You know, he's been promptly buying all that stuff up. So we use the modern technology as well, and the processing, but generally things come from something that's being developed either from an analog synthesizer or from a guitar or from smashing something on the floor, or some of the old stuff that we used to do. A lot of that, we've been doing that again with this record.
Ben is a real all-rounder. It's just amazing what he's done in his life. I mean, when he was a kid, apparently he started working with some orchestra, like sort of miking up an orchestra or something. I think he was like 14 or something, and then he's learned all these engineering skills, and he's I don't know where he learned all of his electronic wizardry. But he's great with synths and modular synths. He knows exactly what's going on all the time, so I'm sure he uses that to his advantage. I think he's a bit smarter than us.
It's unusual for Depeche Mode to pick the same producer twice. We tend to want to move. Well, actually, what tends to happen is the producer doesn't want to work with us again because it's normally the worst year in his life. But we felt playing the Angel went really well, and I don't know, we just thought it'd be good to use Ben again, and Ben was available, and it has been successful. We're sort of one man down, Depeche Mode, because Alan left the band, say, quite a while ago, and he was probably the best musician in the band. So we haven't filled his place, so we need to work with a team of people to cover Alan's thing, and just generally it's nice to work. I mean, we're working with Ben, but we've got two other people that we've never worked with, so there has to be some change.
Well, we really enjoyed working with him on playing the Angel, and he gave us the kick up the arse that we definitely needed. It's a team effort, it really is, and I've said this before, but I'll say it again. You're only as good as the people you put around you. Especially with a band like Depeche Mode, who have, produced a lot of material over the years. It's like I feel like we're in the perfect position to be able to, explore other ideas through other people. Because one of my fears about Depeche Mode, about the band, is always that we just become like a parody of ourselves and start to kind of think we can rely on like past, trophies to get another one, and it's not how art is. You've got to keep trying to move forward and challenge your own ideas. I do have my favourite tracks on the album at the moment, and they change all the time. I think my favourite is actually Comeback, which is a song that I wrote with Andrew and Christian, which has really, come a long way from the demo. In Chains is another one, which I really like, which I think is a sort of classic soul song. It's in the, it's got that kind of feel about it. It could have been something that sort of Marvin Gaye performed. It's that kind of soul-y song. It's got beautiful lyrics. It was great to sing. It was one of the most challenging songs for me to get where I wanted it to be vocally and with my voice. But we got there in the end. In fact, in the last few weeks, we redid that vocal again. And at first, I didn't want to redo it because I thought what I had there was good enough. you know. And sometimes when I think it's good enough, I don't want to mess with it. But Ben just said, let's have a go. Let's see what happens. And when I immediately started singing, I knew that what I was doing was better. It felt better. If something was, sometimes that happens. It happens like when you're touring as well. Like once in a while, one in every sort of 20 gigs or something. It's like you feel like you could do anything. I could do anything with my voice, so I could sing anything, and everything's just falling into place. And that's sort of when the magic happens. But you kind of have to do a lot of work to get there. But it's worth it.
With this album, we've got so many tracks that it's really difficult for me to actually choose a favourite. I mean, I really like probably, like 14, 15 of the tracks a lot, which becomes a problem because we've got to then hone that down to make an actual physical release that's, probably not going to be more than, 11 tracks. We're mixing the tracks, slowly, and so far we've mixed 6 now. So it's really easier to keep in your mind the ones that are, fresh. And, we've just finished mixing Corrupt, which I think sounds really powerful, and, I'm quite enjoying that one at the moment, which, wasn't necessarily one of my favourites before, but because we've just finished mixing it, it's I think it is sounding quite special. There are some of the other ones that are that I don't think you've heard yet, that are quite different for us, more sort of easy listening, in a good way. I mean, like very sort of spacey, and maybe like futuristic, easy listening.
I like, I suppose every musician would always say they like on their new album. I mean, if you start to say you don't like so many songs, it's pretty weird. But there's a lot of good songs on this album, and quite a few of my favourites. Perfect, I like. In Sympathy, Wrong, Fragile. I mean, there's a lot of, and it's quite good at the moment. I don't tend to be that bored. Imagine I've heard these things about 1,000 times, so that's a good sign.
We unanimously, without even really talking about it, I think chose Wrong as the first single, just because we felt it was more of a statement. It was very different for us. There are other tracks like In Sympathy, which I think maybe is more classic Depeche Mode, and I'm sure at some point that may come out as a single, whatever a single is these days, whatever a single means these days, as maybe as a promotion tool for the record at some point. But we always like to do something different as a first single to just to announce that we're back.
It's sort of an unconventional sort of pop song, if you like. It's almost more of a sort of rap or rant or something. But and its sort of groove is a little different too in that way. And I think we chose it because we didn't choose it because we felt it was the best song. We chose it because we felt that it was striking, and that it was a good song to choose for the next chapter of what it is we're doing.
We've chosen Anton because we just have such a great relationship with him, and I think that he is just very good at what he does. It's difficult for us to think of working with other photographers, even though we are, because the results that we get with Anton are always so good, and apart from that, he always makes the actual photo session so enjoyable. It's you don't feel like you're just stuck in a studio. I don't know why. So I think it's just because we know him so well.
Anton Corbijn has been our sort of visual man for quite a while now, and gets involved in videos, covers, almost a fifth man, and with the live set and stuff like that. So we really love Anton's work. So we continue to work with him.
This time round with the album artwork, we gave him the title, which he really liked, and he just went away and came back with a couple of ideas, and one we liked more than the other. And then we tried to have a bit of input as well, but he doesn't really like our input much. So we said, okay, fine.
Well, the first idea we saw was just a symbol. You know, we couldn't even a D and an M, but to us it looked like an O and an M. But I think the rest of the stuff hadn't been sent by mistake. You know, yeah. I mean, it's you know, it's good. You know, you can with Anton, you can give him a title like Sounds of the Universe, and he can come up with something that's not crass and looks good. But yes, we have chosen a video director and a guy called Patrick Daughters, who's done The Liars and a couple of things, and he'll be doing the video for Wrong.
We chose him for the same reason, really, that we chose Wrong, which was we wanted to do something that was strikingly different to what you've seen before visually in the video department from Depeche. His idea is a great idea. It's like a single idea that you could really see coming off. And I know his work, and we've looked at his work, and everything that he does, on most of the things that he does that I've seen, they're always based in one good idea that seem to always enhance the song, the energy of the song. And I think this song is a particularly energetic song, and it's immediately in your face. So, you know, the visuals have got to go with that. This is not, you know, for me, like an idea that was kind of like, you know, a short film, which is this beautifully shot photography, which is slow moving and, you know, building a story around it, doesn't really work with this particular track, because this particular track is really like a, you know, it's like an attack of words that just come at you from start to finish. It's not like a song, you know, chorus type thing. It's this onslaught of words, and you need something that's going to build with that visually. And his idea was, I think if it comes off, will really do that. And I don't think it's the kind of thing where you would look at it immediately and go, oh, you know, Depeche Mode have got another record coming out, and not that that's a bad thing, you know. But for this particular track, I think he was the right choice.
We'd never really enjoyed making videos, especially in our early days, because that's when video first really occurred, you know, ever. And no one really knew what to do with a band, so they used to get us to act and things like that, and we're not very good actors. So then we started working with Anton and with a small team, and that was always more enjoyable. But as soon as that magic word, it's a wrap, you know, is we're not disappointed, you know.
When it comes to the tour, we haven't yet, you know, talked about what songs we want to do. The only thing we have talked about, you know, Martin and I both agreed that In Chains would be a great opening track, but that may or may not change. Probably will, but we are working at the moment as well on set designs and visual designs. But it's early days really with that.
We do have a little bit of an idea, maybe where we're going to go now, but you know, it's still very vague, and it's still very open and early. I mean, we still don't have to make any decisions, you know, yet, because we've still got, you know, what, 6 months, 7 months before we actually start.
Yeah, I mean, we've got to decide on what songs we're going to play. It's very, very difficult. We've got over 200, and I don't know exactly, 250 songs, something like that. So it's very difficult whittling that down to a proper set. And we're going to have a few heated discussions, I'm sure, you know, trying to work out the exact set.
Well, the first show is in Tel Aviv in Israel, which is very exciting because it was the show that, well, it's a different venue, but it's a place that we were supposed to finish the last tour with, and unfortunately we couldn't play there for various reasons, but mostly because there was a war beginning there, and not that there hasn't been a war there for a long time, but this was actually sort of happening in the backyard, if you like, and it just would have been wrong for us to, you know, sort of irresponsible, we felt, for us to expect a large number of people to be in a park